So in this video I'll cover some basic Anthurium care tips if you're new to Anthuriums and just starting out with Anthuriums. So today I want to talk to you guys about Anthuriums, and this is my new Anthurium which I got recently from Plantify, which is like a cool little plant shop here in Cape Town, South Africa. The leaves on this plant, it's like velvet. You just want to touch it all the time. And I was actually surprised to learn that the care for this one is extremely similar to the average Anthurium Andreanum, which you can buy at any grocery store. And because I'd always thought that the foliage Anthuriums are super tropical, but they're not. And this one is actually an easy houseplant, given that it needs strong light, also it needs humidity. So how I increase humidity around my Anthuriums is I run a humidifier, and I try to keep the humidity above 60% because they are true tropical plants. And like all tropical plants, they need an environment that is humid. If you're going to let them dry out a lot around their leaves, you are going to get like the dry leaf edges. And as for moisture, I try to water them at least once a week. Obviously in summer, if it is in a smaller container, you actually want to water them a bit more. So if you're just starting out and you want to increase humidity around your plants and you don't have the humidifier as of yet, you can use a spray bottle. I started with a spray bottle when I wanted to increase humidity around my plants, and all that you do is like once or twice a day, you just spray the leaves and the flowers and all around your plants, and that will increase humidity in the vicinity of your plants. So talking about light requirements for Anthuriums, I found that Anthuriums would take as much sun as you can give it without giving it the hot afternoon sun. So like sun in the morning and also late afternoon. And one of the biggest reasons I found that Anthuriums do not flower is because of a lack of light. In the wild, Anthuriums grow as epiphytes, which means that they grow on other plants and trees. And as for that, I found that they do have a higher light requirement if you want your Anthurium to flower throughout the year. However, with the foliage Anthuriums, I would kind of steer away from too much sun. So this one gets about, I'll say, sunlight in the morning until about like 11 o'clock, and that's usually fine. Anything later than that is going to mark the leaves. And to keep your Anthuriums evenly moist, you can let them dry out a bit in between waterings. I mean, that I found is absolutely fine. You don't want to keep your Anthurium soaking wet, and you also want to avoid letting it stand in any stagnant water. So I found that the ideal temperature for Anthuriums is anything between 18 and 25 degrees Celsius. And that for me here in South Africa is my average indoor temperature. I do have some Anthuriums outside on the patio, and they do get colder winter temperatures, sometimes down to 4 degrees Celsius. Because Cape Town is not a tropical area, but we don't have freezing temperatures, so they do survive. My Anthuriums inside are a lot more lush, and they also flower freely than the ones outside. So as a fertilizer, I usually fertilize my Anthuriums with a balanced universal plant food, which I buy from always, but you can also buy it from your local supermarket or plant store. I aim for something that has every element in it, especially like the concentrate one, which you can just dilute in water because you can use it at full strength or even half strength. So as for potting medium, people are always confused with Anthuriums, and as a potting medium, I want to use something that's light and airy. In another video, I'll do an Anthurium repotting video where I'll take you through everything that you need to know about how to repot your Anthurium. So as for the hygiene of your Anthurium plant, what I often do is I just put the plant in the shower and let the water rain over it. and that simulates what will happen in nature. You'll see with this one, there's like a white residue on it, and I think it might be mineral stains from like the water. But yeah, if you clean your Anthurium leaves, you'll have your plants looking perfect. To gauge the humidity inside this room, I use the Eve sensor. So it tells you the temperature. So I use the Eve sensor. It tells you the temperature and the humidity which you need